Not everyone in this normally cooler part of the country has air conditioning. That forced this downtown Seattle flower shop to close its doors. Other businesses did the same. The misery spreads across several states. The oranges on the map mean temperatures of 100 or more. The high Tuesday of Portland, Oregon's airport was 106.
In August of 2009, Anastasia, Andy, and I packed up our skis and began our search for winter. Well, I flew east through Atlanta in the cargo hold. Anastasia and Andy flew business class through Los Angeles, Lima, and Santiago before we met up again in Buenos Aires for the final push to Bariloche. After 30 hours of travel, we found Andy's friend Jorge waiting for us. And rain. Lots of rain. With 9 feet of snow followed by 6 inches of water, we had to find someplace else to go. In the meantime, we did our best to satisfy our basic needs.
We're not clear whether or not we have reservations or not, or whether or not...
Since the skiing had turned to garbage, we drove out to see the desert beyond Bariloche and the cliffs and lakes that Andy and condors call home. When the sun finally showed itself in the city, it was far too late. With tickets purchased and bags packed, we chased the powder to Ushuaia, the southernmost city in the world. Ushuaia is tucked on the edge of the Beagle Channel, deep inside Tierra del Fuego, the land of fire. Magellan passed the island at his voyage around the world, and he saw great tongues of flame leaping up from the beaches. It wasn't until the 19th century explorations of Darwin that these fires were explained. They were lit by the Aboriginal people as a source of warmth in the bitter South American winter. Though the bonfires are long gone, the winters remain and the great southern ocean sends Ushuaia cold winds and dry snow, the summer powder that we were looking for. After a week in Argentina, we found ourselves skiing at 54 degrees south in Cerro Castor. It was a cold day. We approached it leisurely.
1 run, 1 hot chocolate. What are we going to have after our second run? Yo sentí que sus llamas me abrazaban con intenso ardor y me devoraban. Me para los dos, fuego de amor. De amor, que dulce es el besar cuando se ve amar.
Start of a beautiful morning.
The following day, the Beagle Channel as a backdrop, we toured with Juan Pablo, the local ski guide. The mountains are small, barely higher than 1,500 meters, but they are dramatic. And with the Pacific Ocean less than 100 miles to the west, you can't discount the weather.
So while Marcus and Juan Pablo are off doing another run up in the Windy Mountains, Anastasia and I are having a tea party, because nothing says tea party like Nana's tea party.
Cup of tea, there ain't no party like my Nana's tea party. Hey, ho.
Start of our morning. Anastasia all bright and smiling and awake. She's ready to party.
On our second day with Juan Pablo, the prospect of new snow lured us to Cerro Bonete. Bonete, a perfect triangular peak, is guarded by a long approach, and its flanks are thick with lengas and guindo trees.
50, 500 meters, yeah, and 30, 35 degrees. Without visibility, put up.
Las gentes de las casitas se sonríen y se visitan, van juntitos al supermarket y todos tienen un televisor. Hay dentistas, comerciantes, latifundistas y traficantes, abogados y rentistas y todos visten policías.
We warmed up in a refugio before the final climb, and it was here that Juan Pablo introduced us to the empanada. Skiing would never be the same again.
Van juntitos al colegio.
Bonete culoa.
El día de Juan Pablo, número 2.
Luego va a la universidad, comenzando su problemática y la intríngulis social. Fuma pitillos en Austin Mini, juega con bombas y con política, asesina a generales y es un gánster de la sedición. Y las gentes de las casitas se sonríen y se visitan.
So, the end of our tour, and oddly, it's snowing again.
Hay rosadas, verdecitas, blanquitas y celestitas, las casitas del barrio alto, todas hechas.
Just outside Ushuaia is a wide, flat valley called Tierra Major, and it's the home of several dog sledding operations. We'd been away from our own dogs for a while, so it seemed like the perfect idea for a rest day.
The dogs on the sled will take you. They will know that you're going you're not going well. They will feel that they are pulling more weight than usual, so they will slow down. Yes, when they slow down, you can recover. Yes, it happens. It happens.
We quickly discovered that dog sledding is a sport. The dogs are fast, but a lot of time is spent off the sled, running, so they don't get worn out. And you never let go of your sled, even when you've lost your brakes.
Where's the brake? It was gone. I was like, the brake was stuck. So I'm like holding on, put one foot down, trying to pull it down, and then I realized it's wrapped around something.
Oh yeah, so you couldn't get it down at all.
Yeah, and so we're tearing through the park, and my sled's going like this. And I'm hopping off one end, putting it back like that, and I'm yelling at them to stop and putting my foot out. And I was like, oh God, and I'm screaming for you guys.
In the end, it was a great time, though perhaps not quite as restful as we'd planned. The next morning we set out for our final day of touring. Of the skiing we'd done so far, this day would be the most exploratory. Skiing with Juan Pablo had allowed us to gradually get to know the mountains of Ushuaia, but the missing element for us was mystery, the exploration of a new space where your companions were no wiser than you.
It looks like it'll look over whatever.
And while the light was flat and the clouds threatening on the approach, the sun burned through and lit the slopes to show up our tracks at the end of the day, before the wind came back to fill them in. Fueled by dulce de leche helado, the final day at Cerro Castor was one of exploration and comfort. We hunted the summer powder, knowing that these turns would have to last a while. And in the morning, we rolled our ski bags down to the bus in the dark and climbed aboard, heading north. As the ferry took us across the Strait of Magellan, we left the land of fire in our wake, heading home to friends and family, and to the last few days of summer. And the cycle begins again.